Sasamahan kita. Sasamahan kita.
Minimithi, inaasam, pangarap na walang hanggan. Bawat ngiti, nagniningning, magsisilbing liwanag sa dilim. Natatanaw mo ba? Maaabot mo ba? Tanong sa bawat bukas, masasagot mo na. Mahaba man ang daan, madami man niyang hadlang, huwag kang mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso nangangarap. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Malinaw na ang paraan, kalimutan na nakaraan. Ayusin natin ang daan, anuman ang humadlang. Gamitin ang iyong lakas para maiangat ang iyong antas. Mula sa baba, ngayon nasa taas. Kinang ng puso, iyong ilabas. Kami aalalay, iyong kaagapay. Sa bawat hakbang, meron ka ng karamay. Hanggang sa tagumpay, ika'y magtatagumpay. Ang imposible ay kaya, basta't sama-sama. Kaya huwag mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, antoniojuandelaCruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Marketing League. We're live today for Phinma Education Group, Phinma University of Pangasinan, and Phinma UPang College of Urdaneta. So today we will be joined by speakers from Shearwater, Inspiro, and Cognizant. But before we start, we'd like to invite everyone for the prayer followed by the national anthem.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati't pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Alright, so thank you for that. To officially start today's sessions, we'd like to invite Mr. Adel Traste, Director for Center Student Development and Leadership, Phinma University of Pangasinan, to give us the opening remarks.
In behalf of our Phinma University of Pangasinan family, we welcome you to our webinar entitled Marketing Me, organized by our Alumni and Corporate Engagement team in partnership with Jobs180.com. We hope to gain insights on the following topics after the activity: on digital resume, online interviews, and on possible job opportunities. We thank our ACE team for ensuring that we are updated on the trends happening in the corporate environment. We also thank our partner, Jobs180.com, for providing us an avenue to fine-tune our portfolio for work opportunity. It is my prayers and hope that after this engagement, we would be more ready to look for jobs, face interviews, and start your career path. At lagi nating tatandaan ang ating main goal, not just to graduate, but to pass the board examinations. Not just to pass the board examinations, but to top the board examinations as a mindset. Not just to graduate, not just to pass the board examination, but to land on our first job 3 to 6 months after graduation. Ang unang trabaho, ang totoo nating graduation, at ang unang sahod, ang totoo nating diploma. At kaya natin yan because we are Phinma Ed students, we are #Proud Flames. Again, welcome and a blessed day to all.
Thank you for that, sir. All right. So to our audience, we have a registration form for you. It's also in our caption. We're also putting it in the comment section. So please register for the event that's officially from the Phinma group. And then there's another one at the end of this seminar. That one naman is the evaluation form. So you get to answer 2 forms at the end of this event. Like for this event, 2 forms for this event. All right. So let's proceed, no? So here is our schedule for this afternoon. We will be discussing online applications, virtual interviews to be presented by Shearwater Health, how companies hire you by Cognizant, new age career possibilities for the new normal environment to be presented by Inspiro. Ayan. So to everyone who has questions, like habang nagpe-present yung speaker natin, huwag kayong mahiya na ilagay sa comment section para basahin natin sa kanila para masagot nila. Alright, so thank you. Please tag your friends and please share this video to them if ever na wala pa sila dito. Okay, so let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker discussing online applications is Sir Chua. He is the Managing Director for Jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. Sir Kim, the floor is yours. Please take it away.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have 1 file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan. Okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo. Kayo lang may alam yan. At lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So, you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, Okay? Pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay? So, walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Anong gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So, you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si eye expert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Di ba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Di ba? That's yung ibig ko sabihin. Huwag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pa nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pag-process sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Di ba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Pero kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cellphone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data. Pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So, kung may tanong yung audience natin, pwede nyo nang ilagay dito, no? But sir, we have here, we pulled this from the Phinma students po, no? Halo-halo it from different campuses. We have here from Ayesa Love Saul, Southwestern University. Is it okay for the upcoming graduates to take a break before applying for a job?
Oo naman. You can take a break, but kung ako, para saan yung break? if you really need to take a break, then by all means take a break. Sabi nga nila mag-PMA ka, 'di ba? Pahinga muna anak, sabi. Ayan, pwede. Pero o kaya pumunta ka sa SBMA. That's how they joke about it back in the days. Sa bahay muna ako. O yan yung mga joke before. But I don't see the reason why you should take a break unless sobrang stress out ka na, burn out ka na sa kakaaral. Because definitely gustuhin mo pa mag-aral kay pag ikaw ay nagtrabaho na. I think you would, I speak for all those who are working now, 'di ba? So, yeah, you can take a break. Wala namang pumipigil sa iyo. Pero kung ako, wag na. Go lang ng go. Okay? Ayan.
Next question, sir. So we
Okay.
have here from Annery Santa Cruz, UPang, Phinma UPang. What are the easiest ways of finding a job as a fresh graduate?
What are the easy ways on finding jobs?
Easy ways, sir. Easy ways.
Easy ways. Number one, look at the one that's scrolling on your screen. You see there the link, no? HTTPS, yan, // schools.jobs180.com/upang. That's one easy way to do it. Just go to that link, explore for opportunities. You see there mga industry partners ni school, ni University of Pangasinan, as well as other schools din later on. Depende kung saan kayo. Another way is you go to jobs180.com. Another way is you explore for yung mga job boards. Marami naman no? So maraming opportunities, lalo na ngayon online. Hindi ka na mahirapan. Diba? So yan. I hope
So,
na-answer ko yung
step
tanong.
1, maximize yung online platforms.
Oo, yes. Yes, wag ka na bumiyahe ng bumiyahe, para safe. Online mo na mag-apply.
Alright, okay. Last question, sir. Ito, sir, siguro walkthrough na lang from the orientation. Coming from Zane Philip Sarah, how do we apply using Jobs 180?
How do you apply using Jobs 180? Number one, you have to create an account, which is for free. So you register either by going to your school career portal, which is yung schools.jobs180.com/upang, the one that's scrolling on your screen. Or you can also go to our website, which is www.jobs180.com. And from that site, you click on register, and then you just choose your school. Now, as you put those information in, you have to make sure that you complete the details. You have to verify pala muna. Importante, you have to verify. Kasi after you verify, you have to go to your email to verify your account. And once you verify, you'll be able to receive notifications from different companies that matches your profile. And at the same time, you'll be able to apply na. Okay? Now, in application naman, make sure that your details are complete para hindi sayang ang oras mo tsaka oras ng HR. Kumpletuhin natin lahat ng detalye, pati yung mga relevant information, yung mga portfolio or other documents that you think will be very useful sa pag-apply mo, especially if these are your advantages compared to other applicants, then you put it there para mas mabilis. Kasi diba, what you're doing is you're marketing yourself more effectively to the company. So you put everything there. Make sure it's complete. And then at the same time, you have to start your action. You have to choose the companies that you want to apply to. But in doing so, make sure you do your research. Wag yung click lang ng click, tas bahala na si Batman. Kung the more you click, the more will apply, the more chances of winning. Yes, in some ways, oo. Pero please make sure lang that you research about the company and the position that you're applying for. Okay? Para pag tinawagan ka ng kumpanya, alam mo yung sasagutin mo. Okay? Hindi yung pag tinanong ka, what do you know about the company? Why did you apply for this position? Sasabihin mo, hindi po ako nag-apply. O, di ba? Pero clinic mo yung pag-submit ng resume link. Okay? So, please do those steps. Those are the 3 easy steps. Okay?
Alright. So, thank you for that, sir. Wala po kasi kami masyadong madaming time for this session.
Oo nga eh. Marami tayong topics.
Speakers left for this afternoon. Ayan. So,
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Have a good
thank you. Be safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Alright, so to our second speaker, he will be discussing virtual interviews. We have here Sir Paolo Bayangos, Campus Channel Lead for Talent Acquisition, Shearwater Health. Sir Paolo is a Human Resource Management graduate from De La Salle College of St. Benilde. He is a recruitment expert with a collective 6 years of experience working in the CPO industry under 2 organizations and currently working in Shearwater Health Talent Acquisition Team as its campus channel lead. Sir Pao, good afternoon.
Good
Hi, sir.
afternoon.
How are you? Can we test
I'm
your
good,
share?
Sherry. Yes, I'm trying to share my screen.
Yan. So, sir, today we are joined by different campuses. Actually, sir, we thought it's just UPang in Pangasinan. But apparently, in our audience, parang we have people coming from COC, we have people from Cebu, halo-halo na yun, sir. Ayan. Sir, it's
All
up.
right.
So, I'll leave you to it. I'll be back po in 20 minutes for the Q&A. Thank you, Sir Pao.
All right. Thank you, Sherry, for that introduction. So hopefully you guys can, hear me clearly. So just to formally introduce myself once again, my name is Paolo Bayangos. Okay, strategic sourcing, campus channel lead for Shearwater Health. Okay, so before we move into the presentation, I want you to watch a video about Shearwater first. All right. Now, before we move on to me discussing whatever is flashed within the screen right now, so just to give you guys a quick overview of what Shearwater CPO is. So most probably you've already heard of the term BPO, business process outsourcing. Okay, we're kind of the same. Literally, okay, the very first term would only be the difference. So instead of business, okay, it's C. So C stands for clinical process outsourcing. So that means from the term itself, everything that we do here in Shearwater Health, it's all about within the healthcare space. Okay. So sharing with you the things that are flashed on the screen right now. So realities of Philippine healthcare jobs. So of course, there's going to be long work hours, the rigid schedules that you have to work with, low ceiling for advancement, lack of respect for healthcare professionals, especially right now, pandemic situation, and of course, high risk for you and your family in getting hospital-acquired diseases like COVID-19. Shearwater Health. Okay, so created healthcare careers through CPO that can provide you the following. Okay, so I can assure you that there is real career growth when it comes to working with your water health CPO. Okay, more time with family. Okay, as presented within the video earlier, and since we coined ourselves as the home of clinicians, so we can welcome you to a warm, engaging clinical family. Okay, so we believe clinicians should be rewarded for their hard work. We are a company created for clinicians, and we offer you rewards. Okay, rewarding healthcare careers here in the Philippines. All right. So just to share more about Shearwater CPO, we are a home to over 3,000 clinicians who have trusted us with their careers, making us the largest employer of clinicians outside of the hospital. So just giving more to it. So just imagine yourself working in a hospital or clinical setting. Okay, whatever you are doing within a hospital or a clinical setting, you are going to do it virtually. Okay, so all made possible through the use of healthcare informatics, of course, with the leverage of technology. All right. Okay, so I guess that would be for the quick introduction about who Shearwater CPO is, and on to my presentation itself. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you are virtual interview tips, how to prepare, and how to answer common interview questions. Okay, so mostly just basic tips on how are you going to work through with your interview. Okay, and I might share some secrets that we have, our perspective being the interviewers within the recruitment process that you have to go through. All right. So a good virtual interview should have a lot of same ingredients as an in-person one. So always remember this. Okay? Meaning it doesn't matter actually if it's going to be virtual or physical interview, you have to treat it the same. So first off, how to prepare. Okay, so most likely for number one, prepare in advance. Okay, of course, it's you know that an interview would already be scheduled. You will be given the date of when the interview would be, so might as well prepare in advance. Okay, next is of course show up on time. Okay, even though that this is going to be a virtual interview, even though your recruiters might be sometimes busy with, of course, other interviews and with the meetings that they have, you need to show up on time. Okay, and then number three, dress for success. Okay, so again, just like with what I've said earlier, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a physical or virtual interview, you still need to dress up. Okay, so this will give us an idea, okay, at the first glance of how you handle professionalism on your part. Okay, number four, check what you need. Okay, so since this is going to be a virtual interview, of course, there's going to be a lot of factors. Okay, aside from, of course, in comparison to it being a physical interview. Okay, so right now, being within the virtual space, a virtual interview, you need to check your internet, you need to check your computer, if it's going to be a laptop, was it charged yesterday? Okay, so you need to make sure of these things. Okay, you need to make sure that your internet would be stable so that there won't be any interruptions when it comes to the virtual interview itself. All right. Okay, just a reminder for some of you who might be already might have scheduled interviews in the future. Don't forget to make eye contact with the camera. Okay, so of course, you keep your eye contact with the camera. Okay, since it's going to be virtual, you're only going to see your interviewer through the camera as well. So, okay, might as well keep eye contact with the camera. All right. Okay. Next is stay focused and engaged. Okay. So usually when it comes to virtual interviews, what I've observed from most of the interviews that I've done so far, okay, is that if it's going to be a long interview, some of the interviewees that I have interviewed before, okay, would actually there would be a point in time that they would be inattentive anymore, or the focus that they had from the start of the interview would not be as as focused. They would not be as focused during the later parts of the interview. So make sure, okay, you remind yourself that you are still in an interview until it is over. So keep yourself focused and engaged at all times. Okay, and then lastly, relax. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, and of course, it's easier said than done. Okay, but there's no really other way in order for you to be more confident with your answers. And the answer to that is to relax. I remember always telling my interviewees from the start that I would have one request from them, and that one request is to relax. Okay, although this is going to be a virtual interview, of course, you are still visible to us and we can still hear you. So we would still know if you're kind of nervous. Okay, and in order for you to confidently answer your questions, you need to relax because um, nervousness is kind of innate already. Okay, even though you get hired already, even though you are at that point in your career that you are going to be promoted, it will never go away. Okay, so relax. Remember. All right. So just showing you some pictures of what you should wear during the interview itself. So for men, okay, it's going to be business casual or business formal, okay, as shown within the picture. Of course, I know that virtual interviews is somehow going to be done in your own homes. Okay, so same with your interviewer. So I would suggest that you just wear anything that would be comfortable as long as it's business casual or business formal. Of course, it's going to be hot for some of us. Okay, so you don't need to wear a blazer or a coat specifically. So as long as you're comfortable with what you're wearing, then that would be fine. Okay, and then for the ladies, so business casual, business formal. All right, so on to the next one. So common interview questions. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some questions that is commonly asked during interviews and somehow give you tips on how to answer them. Sorry. Okay, so I might be giving away secrets only within an interviewer would know. Okay, but hopefully you would be learning something from this topic. Okay, so first question that you usually hear. Okay, technically it's not a question but more of an ask from us interviewers. Okay, tell me about yourself. Okay, so when you say or when you hear tell me about yourself, you're going to talk about you. Okay, so that means when you talk about you don't talk about your parents. Okay, you don't share what they are currently doing. Okay, and this would be a good time actually to sell your strengths. Okay, pitch in your strengths, tell them what do you do as for your hobbies and your interests. Okay, and how you incorporate your strengths to this and how it helps you with who you are. Okay, so it will be talking about more on your personality and how you manage things. Okay, so the things that we're going to talk about here would be, of course, mostly life experiences. Okay, so maybe during internship programs or whenever you find yourself being challenged with every set of experience that you have or any situation. Okay, so again, just a reminder when talking about yourself, it's all about you. Okay. Next is the STAR method. Okay, so usually the STAR method we usually use this during interviews within the situational questions that we ask to whoever we would be interviewing. Okay, so STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. Okay, so for the situation itself, we would be asking you. Usually, the question is that, can you give me any situation wherein you think you were challenged? Okay, so any situation would do. That means it doesn't have to be a big situation or a big challenge, a small challenge, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you think you were challenged. Okay, so what was that situation? What you have to do during the situation? And what did you do afterwards to solve the current situation that you're in? And of course, what is the result? Okay, so don't overthink when it comes to this type of question. Okay, any situation would do. All right, so next is, what are your strengths, your weaknesses? Okay, so for me, I usually just ask the weaknesses because most probably strengths are the ones that we already see. Okay, from the moment that you start talking, from the moment that you start sharing, for the question, tell me about yourself, this is what we're going to get from you initially. Okay, but what are your strengths and your weaknesses? We wanted to make sure that you are aware of this. That's the point of the question itself. Okay, especially when it comes to the weaknesses, and make sure when you answer them or you share them, what are your weaknesses? Make sure that in the end you would have to share, or you would share, how are you currently working on your weaknesses. Okay, of course, for us interviewers or recruiters, it would always be good to know that you're already working on your weaknesses. What are the steps for you to improve yourself in terms of these weaknesses, and somehow turn these weaknesses into strengths. Okay. Number 4. So, what are your goals? Usually, this is one of the most common questions that is being asked during an interview. So, how you answer this? Okay, make sure that you have your short-term and long-term goals. Okay, so I suggest that you can give, if you can give it a timeline. Let's say, for example, for short-term goals, it can be 2 years to 5 years. Okay, and make sure that it's really your goal to reach that within that specific timeline that you have given. Okay, and then for long-term goals, you can give it a timeline of, let's say, 6 to 10 years. Okay, so for short-term goals, okay, you can be promoted within 5 years. You can reach, okay, you can reach the position of a manager within 5 years. Okay, so that's true. Okay, depending on how passionate you are within the job that you're really looking for. So make sure that everything, that the goals that you've set would really be a goal for you, and make sure that you would be reaching it. Okay, so in terms of this question, we usually ask this in order for us to know where you see yourself in the future. Okay, of course, for us, it would be better if you know, or if you, well, if you know your goals. Okay, if you have identified your goals already, then most of it will be helping you reach it. Okay, if ever that, of course, you would be employed, or if ever that you would choose to be employed for that company. Okay, number 5, how much is your expected salary? So asking this question, it's kind of a common question as well. Usually you would hear this near the end of an interview. Okay, but how much is your expected salary? Sometimes I would hear answers, minimum would be fine. Okay, so as for me, just a tip. Okay, I don't believe that anybody would be worth the minimum wage, especially when it comes to the work that we have to do. Okay, any work, okay, any kind of work, be it the nature of the industry, nature of the company, any work, I don't think that that would be amounting just to a minimum. Okay, so make sure that you do your research specific to the position that you're applying to, of how much they usually get, okay, for the compensation. Okay, and as much as possible, be specific on how much you would be asking for. Okay, okay, for number 6, what motivates you? Now, number 6, what motivates you? It's kind of another question for what will make you stay within the company. Okay, so it's kind of a hidden question, or it's kind of another way of asking that question, is that we are asking you what will make you stay if ever that you would be hired. Okay, because most likely your motivation is the one that drives you. Okay, so the usual answers that I would be getting here would be for growth. Okay, for growth, for the environment that they are currently working at. So just a tip here, I want you guys to be more creative in answering what motivates you. Okay, there are actually a lot of things that can motivate you as a person. Okay, be it outside of a workplace or inside of a workplace, there could be a lot. Okay, and don't be shy if it's going to be for practicality. Okay, so in general we would actually prefer you being practical. So if money is what motivates you, compensation is your main motivator, then there's actually no problem with that. Okay, because well, being practical, of course, especially at this time of the pandemic, if you are practical, then most likely you would be more committed if we can satisfy the compensation that we are going to provide you. Okay, so what other answers can be given to what motivates you? It can be family. Okay, family can motivate you, of course, especially when it comes to the challenges that you are currently facing within your family right now. Of course, then that can be a motivation. Or let's say, for example, you are an altruistic person. Okay, so what motivates you is that the performance that you do, okay, the way how it impacts others, okay, that's what motivates you then that would be fine. Okay, that's who you are as a person. Okay, and then for seven, last, why should we hire you? Okay, number seven, this is actually another chance for you to sell your strengths. Okay, so again, pitch on your strengths. What's in it for us if we are going to hire you? Okay, don't ever think that you might answer them in a boastful way. Okay, or somehow in the terms of the day you are somehow flexing yourself, okay, with the current strengths that you have. That's fine. Okay, as long as you can justify those strengths. Okay, because that would be the main reason that we are hiring. Okay, we are looking for whoever can do more. Okay, and of course, if ever that you can justify your strengths as something as what we are looking for as more, okay, then there would be no problem. Most probably you would be landing the job itself. Okay, and just a reminder, my last reminder is don't forget to ask questions. Okay, whenever that you are within an interview, during the later parts of the interview, we would always ask you if you would have questions. Okay, don't ever forget to ask questions, because asking questions to the interviewer, this would have us the idea that you are really interested for the company itself or for the position that you are applying to. Okay, asking a question about itself, that makes you interested for the job. You really wanted to know more about the job itself, about the company, about the compensation. Okay, it doesn't matter what question, as long as it's um, still relevant to the interview, then there would be no problem. All right, and I guess that would be the end of my presentation. So if ever that there would be questions in the future that might be you wanted to ask of me, you can email me, okay, through my email splash here. Don't forget to visit the website or scan the QR code within the screen right now, shearwatercpo.com, and of course, don't forget to visit our job portal, jobs180.com/shearwatercpo.
Thank you for
All
that,
right.
Sir Pao. Sir, so we have listed out the questions coming from our audience now. So, question number one. Um, can you please give us an advice on how we are going to handle a certain situations in the future wherein we are rejected by many companies since we don't have enough experience? This is,
Mhm,
I
okay.
think, from UPang Maria Elizabeth Unico.
All right. So to answer that question first is, of course, well, my very first suggestion is to do your research first. Okay, that would not happen if you're actually aware of the qualifications, right? If you have really read the qualifications, it would be given there that it requires this kind of experience, this long or how long experience you would need specific to the job. Okay, so make sure you do your research first before applying to a specific position that you want. Okay, and then of course, if let's say you have overlooked, okay, you have overlooked that it really requires experience, and then you got rejected. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, don't beat yourself up if you got rejected. It's not actually, well, not mostly your fault. Okay, but of course, the company itself is really looking for those who have experience, because at the same time, okay, that would mean they would have to be deployed, okay, and then there would be less training for them. Okay, you being a fresh grad, okay, soon, if ever you would be looking for your first job, I would suggest, of course, that you would be taking every training that would be provided to you. Okay, not just the experience that you have for the actual job that you have to do, but for the training that will be offered to you, grab it. Okay, you'll never know, because maybe within the next job that you would be applying for, the experience for the training that will be given to you would be needed. Okay, and since you have attended that specific training, okay, then you already have it.
All right,
Okay.
thank you for that, sir. Next question. What would be your advice for fresh graduates who are not confident when it comes to the interviews?
Okay. Not confident. All right. So just to share my experience with you. Okay. I remember the question to Sir Kim a while ago. I was actually was actually watching a while ago. Um, so just to share an experience with you. Okay. After I graduated, I actually stayed home. SMB stayed SMBA. So I stayed home for a year. Okay. Did not look for a job immediately after I graduated. Okay. Of course, when the time came that I already realized that I have to work already, since I've been doing nothing for a year. Okay, that would be my problem. I don't have the confidence with me anymore, because I've been doing nothing for a year, right? Okay, so that is going back to the very very first bullet on how to prepare in advance. Okay, make sure that you do your research, make sure that you practice, okay, everything that you have to do. If the interview is going to be in English, then practice. Okay, so practice your language proficiency. If you have your parents, you can ask them for help. If you have your brother or your sister, you can ask them for help. Okay, and then most likely, if you have your parents who are currently working within a company, okay, of course, most probably they would have gone under an interview before. Okay, you can also ask them of their experiences, because, of course, experience would still be the best teacher when it comes to preparing for this kind of stuff or experiences that you have to go to.
Thank you for
Okay.
that, Sir Pao. Question here. I think magandang question to, sir. How can a medical professional use IT in their career? This
Mhm.
is from a medical technology student from Southwestern University in Cebu.
Medical professional use IT in their career. Okay, good question. Okay, to share with you honestly, this is based on experience. Um, Healthcare field here in the Philippines is kind of lagging right now when it comes to advancement. Okay, advancement of the process that we do. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong for those who already have experience, but this is based on experience once again. So usually when you go to a hospital, it's all drawers, files and drawers for whatever credentials that the patient has, right? But if you're going to look at it, hospitals abroad, specifically within the US, Korea, okay, Japan, most of those are actually within a database, okay, using technology. Okay. Um, and it's actually a good question that you have, because that's what we actually do here in Shearwater Health. Okay. Leveraging this technology that we have in order for us to help people, okay, help people live healthier, I guess. Okay. More on maintaining what needs to be maintained when it comes to their health. Okay. So not not the old school specific to hospital that if ever, let's say, for example, you need a diagnosis, okay, then you need to go to your doctor. Okay, believe it or not, it can happen through the internet, online. Okay, of course, with the help of our health experts, the representatives that we have. Okay, that's why all of us here are mostly clinicians. Okay, we still use the knowledge that we have, okay, through the use of technology. Okay, believe it or not, there are equipments that we can use for this. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Pao. So, Sir Pao, we have here, ito sir, last question for this segment from Precious May Ventura. What advice could you give us when we reach the point of choosing between doing our passion but the environment is unhealthy, or doing something that does not interest us but the environment is ideal?
All right. So I would suggest that you would always choose you for yourself to be happy. Okay. I don't think that working, let's say, for example, in a toxic environment, let's say the pay is good, the benefits is good, okay, but the environment is toxic. Trust me, you will not be productive. Okay. And if you are not productive, then there's no passion. The passion that you have for that job, okay, it will fade away soon. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
thank
not
you.
about it's not about dealing with it. Okay, like dealing with the agony that you have to experience every day, just because the pay is good. Okay, but environment itself is not, it's toxic. Okay, trust me, you will not be productive, you will not move forward, you cannot do anything. So might as well, okay, choose what's going to be better for you.
Thank you for that, sir. All right. So, to our viewers, if you're interested to look at the vacancies, explore openings over at Shearwater. The link is below jobsunite.com/Shearwater CEO. Ayan. Sir Pao, thank you again for joining us this afternoon. Have a great day po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Ayan. So, with that, we move on to our next speaker. So, our next speaker will be discussing how companies hire you. We have Sir Aaron Mitchell Ancheta, Senior Recruitment Coordinator for Talent Acquisition Group of Cognizant Philippines. Sir Aaron worked as a team leader and regional business manager in two international executive search firms. He has years of experience in recruiting in the IT industry for Asia Pacific based institutions such as financial services, consulting, social media, e commerce, and fintech. And before all that, he worked as a nurse in Singapore and was medical oncology, blood, and marrow transplant nurse at St. Luke's QC. Yeah. Sir Aaron, can we please? There you go. Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello,
How are you?
everyone. Good afternoon. Fine.
Sir, can
Doing
we test
great.
your share screen?
Yeah, sure. Is my audio clear?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Great. Okay.
Ayan.
Just
So
give
today, sir,
me.
we are joined by by different campuses in the Phinma education group. So we reach as far as Cebu. We also have people coming in from Cagayan de Oro. Ayan, sir. Halo-halo na yan sila, sir.
I see.
Various courses din po yan. So, sir, it's
Mm-hmm.
up. Ayan. So, I'll be back po for Q&A in 20 minutes. You have the floor,
All
sir.
right. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron, and I am a senior recruitment coordinator in Cognizant Philippines under the HR Talent Acquisition Group. And today, I will be sharing with you some insights on how companies hire in the better normal. I would not like to call it new normal because of the new advancements and improvements in a lot of businesses. Workflow now is much better compared to the previous years. That's why I would like to call it better normal. So let's go. So during the pandemic, social distancing is crucial to curbing the spread of COVID-19. And this is very important. This is an important preventive measure, and it has transformed businesses around the world. So as difficult as it may seem, There are still a lot of job opportunities out there if you're planning to have a jump start towards, for example, a digital career, even right after your graduation. So, a recent study showed that nearly 98% of all organizations here in the Philippines have implemented HR changes. So, those HR changes, we call it digitalization. And about 74% are adopting work from home setups. The rest are still on site, and 48% are changing their methods of finding and interviewing job candidates. So this talks about the hiring strategy, the approach on how a company would hire new talents. And even before COVID-19, most job seekers have already turned towards digital platforms to find jobs. For an example, we have jobs180.com. We have applicants visiting this site, this job board, to find their next jump. In fact, approximately 2 out of 5 candidates, so that's 40%, they are actively searching and applying for jobs during the crisis. And the other 35% are actively monitoring job opportunities. They're not actually applying per se, but they're actively looking for new opportunities. So the other 25% are not yet or still not open to new jobs. So us, the recruiters, now have a huge 75% of potential candidates in the market. Therefore, if we ramp up our digital presence, surely we will be more visible to prospective candidates like you, for example, in the future. So in this discussion, you will learn more about well recruitment process itself and some emerging recruitment trends that affect the recruitment and selection process in the Philippines. So let's talk about how talent acquisition looks like on our end. At this point, you will know what is added in the typical recruitment process. So I will be sharing you the typical stages of the recruitment process on your own end naman. So here, as you can see, is a very simple presentation of most of a company's recruitment process from your point of view as an applicant. But of course, there is a different diagram for recruiters, no? From our perspective, there are actually some missing links here on the first part. For example, identifying the need for hiring, calibration for the job qualifications, posting on various recruitment channels, etc. There. So again, I would like to clarify that this image is not the actual recruitment process of Cognizant. It's much more complicated than this. I just made this as simple as possible so it is easier to look at. So there, let's jump to the application stage. The application stage refers to when an applicant submits his or her CV. The problem in that part of the process is that we usually encounter issues with the applicant CV. Most of the companies now are using HR information systems. Some processes are automated already. To give you an example of one issue is CV parsing. Most of the HR departments in a lot of companies use automation, and part of that, one of the feature is CV parsing, where this tool or the software will read the whole resume file and extract vital information like full name, first name, last name, middle name, current position, current employer, education, and many more. The issue, or the purpose rather, of this feature is to actually help us save a lot of time and effort from encoding information one by one each day. So if the candidate's resume is too complicated, or worse, if the CV is made up of images instead of text, our system will fail to parse the CV, and at the worst part, the system will actually reject uploading the CV because it could not parse. It would take us more time to manually encode the data. We can actually still manually encode the data in your CV, but it would take a lot of time and effort. And yeah, it's a very long process if we go that way. So another problem is that we usually encounter uh, problems in terms of CV organization. If the CV or the resume information is not complete, sometimes the information in the CV is not relevant, or the information is very disorganized. And again, it would cost us additional time to decipher. For example, I had an experience. She used a cursive font style in the text in her resume, or I also have this experience before where I was hiring a front end developer, a web developer, and his resume contains alibata, and I find it unnecessary, and I do not understand. I actually did not study alibata. So to avoid such issues and to avoid recruiters ignoring your CV because it's too complicated, make it stand out by making it more simple but really concise, highlighting your achievements and your strongest skill set that you currently have. Doing it this way, recruiters can easily judge if you are a fit or not. Always remember that when applying for a job, remember this: speed is key. Okay, again, speed is key. The more time the recruiter spends on deciphering your CV, the less likely they would call you very soon. Okay? And the more time you spend waiting, the higher the chance other candidates might snatch the opening from you, and they might get hired instead of you. So please remember that it's true. Speed is key in terms of applying for a job. Okay? So please make your CV simple. Um, the next stage is telephone screening. So this usually starts with an HR interview, but in some companies, I think it varies. Sometimes the technical interview happens first, and then the HR interview happens right before they roll out an offer. So be sure to keep your lines open all the time in case the recruiter has an update regarding your application. Next is when you receive an invitation, interview invite. This will usually come from your recruiter or recruitment coordinator. Later on, I have tips on this, pretty much similar to what Sir Paolo discussed earlier. Next stage is the actual interview session. So this is also sometimes called hiring manager interview. This is where it gets more technical. Sometimes, if the first interviewer is not satisfied, they might also set up a panel interview. So be sure to prepare for that as well. Next stage is the most painful, the most painful part, which is waiting for feedback. Days and nights praying and fasting and bargaining with the Lord just so you would get a positive feedback. No, the problem is most of the time it takes days or weeks to come. The feedback, and it is very seldom that you get feedback within the day unless the opportunity is a niche opportunity, meaning it would be very difficult for recruiters to find this type of talent. So another example is if the company is doing mass hiring or flash hiring, usually you would get feedback within the day. However, even if the waiting part is painful, if you get the positive feedback, you get to receive an offer, here, the offer of employment, which you need to review. Again, reminder: review the offer 10 times, okay, before signing it physically or digitally using a software. So usually, we do it online. When we roll out an offer, uh, we use a software. We use a software to sign the actual documents. Okay, so there. After you sign the offer, then that's it. Congratulations. You will now be attending the onboarding sessions. So going back to the interview part, I want to also give some tips, not just to the applicants but also to the colleagues, to my colleagues in recruitment. No, here tips for both recruiters and applicants before and during an interview. So first, the platform to be used. So on our part as recruiters, we should be proficient in using different types of, video conferencing platforms. So if in case we need to troubleshoot or if the users are unfamiliar with navigations, we can quickly intervene. Also, recruiters should always check if the link to the platform is correct. You should also check if the date and time is set is correct. And most important, recruiters should always make it a habit to inform the applicants what to expect during the interview, during the video interview, because it's different when you're doing a face-to-face interview and a video interview. There are a lot of game-changing factors when you're doing a video interview. So there. In turn, applicants must also be proficient enough to navigate various video conferencing platforms, whatever the company prefers to use. Once an applicant receives an email invitation, the applicant should always take note of the link and check if it is working. The applicant should also check for the time and date if it is what you and the recruiter agreed upon. And another tip is that you should make a habit that you make another reminder using another calendar, for example, Google Calendar. That would set off around 30 minutes, 15 minutes before the actual interview so that you would not miss that interview opportunity. And it's also to, give you more time to prepare for the actual interview. Then last advice is to prepare, like what Sir Paolo mentioned earlier, prepare based on what the recruiter tells you. Sometimes the recruiter will give you pointers. Um, if the recruiter tells you that the interviewer is keen on body language on a professional scale, always be sure to maintain eye contact when speaking and avoid unnecessary gestures. No? Those tiny details, as recruiters, we notice that during interviews. So there. Next is your internet connection and devices. So both recruiters and applicants should check internet download and upload speed. So you do speed test 15 minutes before the interview just to check if your internet is stable enough. Similarly, we should also check our devices, particularly our webcams and our microphones, if they are working properly. In cases that your connection is unstable or one of your device is not working properly, be sure to inform the recruiter ahead of time. Again, inform the recruiter ahead of time if your internet connection is unstable or one of your devices is not working properly. So, as recruiters can give the interviewer a heads up. Okay? Uh, Also, preparing a backup internet connection is an important part. This ensures that the interviewer would go on even if you have a faulty internet service provider. So, just to be safe, prepare a backup internet connection. You can use data, or if you have another line of Wi-Fi, then the better. Next is to prepare for the actual interview. This has been discussed earlier by Sir Paolo, but I'll add some additional topics in this. First, applicants should always prepare, even days before the big day. You can start studying stuff about the company that you applied to. like work culture, the nature of its business, the company, how the company impacts the community and the society, etc. You can also check out reviews. There are sites that give out reviews in a certain company. And if you know someone who works there in that company already, then you should try to get in touch and get as much intel as you can. And of course, read and understand the job description over and over and over again. Reading the job description and understanding it fully would help you be aligned with the recruiters and the interviewers. Well, personally, as a recruiter, I like it when an applicant knows what he is getting into. So, read your job description. Also, brush up on your line of works basics because sometimes technical interviews are not done to actually gauge how vast your knowledge is. Technical interviews sometimes are done because the interviewers would like to gauge if you know the basics and you can actually walk the talk from scratch and not relying on the work of others. No, so there. You may also try to list down common interview questions, the questions that Sir Paolo mentioned earlier, and try coming up with a decent answer. What you can do is to find a practice partner and rehearse the interview using the common interview questions to actually relieve cold feet or nervousness. I think there was a question earlier about that, about confidence. So you can do this: find an interview partner and rehearse the interview over and over again. Well, common interview questions are typically asked during HR interviews. During technical interviews, they might ask, but not a lot. There. Next is proper camera framing. And this slide will actually tell you how to properly frame yourself in front of the camera. You might say that this should not be a big issue, but I have encountered an applicant before in an interview when I was still working in my previous company. Uh, all I can see is his chin and the holes of his nose. So I think that is well, inappropriate because it's not a good sight for a recruiter to see. You know, your chin and the holes of your nose. But anyway, to avoid that, let's remember the rule of thirds. So the basic principle when you're doing the rule of thirds in a video interview is to divide your image into thirds, horizontally and vertically. So imagine if your frame is rectangular, imagine creating 9 boxes within that frame. And these lines, boxes, and the intersections, they act as guidelines for where to position important compositional elements like your shoulders, your face. So if you look at the picture in my slide, the person in the middle, his shoulders are exactly lying in the intersections on the lower quadrant of his frame. And another thing is his face is in the middle box of the whole frame. So his camera framing is really good. No, so that matters. We don't want an applicant hiding on the lower quadrant of the camera frame. We don't want an applicant zooming in his face in the camera, and we don't want well, sometimes there are instances that the applicant showed half of their body, which is sometimes fine, but it would be ideal if uh, you just show the upper half, no, upper half of your upper body. So there. And lastly, my advice to all of you, whether you're already a professional, whether you're a fresh grad, or even if you're still a student, always remember to upskill yourself, upskill, because um you should not stop learning new things, especially new tools and technology, especially now during these times where all businesses are accelerating in terms of technology innovation. Um, Also, another advice is to work smart. This is connected to my first advice. When you upskill, you don't have to spend the rest of the day trying and dying to encode data in front of your desk, for example, if that's your job. There are ways to automate simple tasks so you can focus on more complicated ones. Take me for example. I worked before as a nurse, and then now I am working as a recruiter, and I'm still studying. No, I'm currently studying automation and bot creation, and that is IT stuff. No, but in practice, it helps me a lot now, and it will surely help me in the future. Because as what Elon Musk from Tesla said, who knows after 50 years, all of the, for example, like recruitment jobs, recruitment processes, after 50 years, it will be automated. And there will be lots and lots of retrenchments, and many of us recruiters will lose our jobs because of automation. So good thing that I am now studying automation, because perhaps in the near future, I might be doing the development itself of the software. So there. Uh, Sorry. Before we proceed, I have a video to share with you, and this might help you get motivated to upskill yourself and learn new technologies and tools, even if you're from the healthcare industry or the teaching industry in the academe, or wherever industry you're coming from. This is a good video to watch. So here.
Stop. Is this really what you want to do? Sit there and enter data while the world outside enters the next millennium? Or would you rather join it? You should be adapting, evolving, reimagining the way people interact with everything from banking to insurance to healthcare to really anything. You should be improving your customers' experience and your employees' life experience. You should be taking your business operations from good to better to the very best there ever was. Don't worry, the busy work will still be there. You just won't see it. Say hello to IPA. This isn't just any ordinary automation, because IPA learns every time it automates. So what's fast today will be faster tomorrow, giving you the freedom to take this and turn it into this or this. And did we mention this? While you're busy doing the work of a human, it's mining through trillions of interconnected data points and analytics all the way back from, say, 0.003 seconds ago. Think fast. That unlocks critical insights that empower you to think bigger. No, bigger. Bigger. Want to keep going? Because IPA won't just simplify and inform, it'll augment your abilities, tapping into your unrealized potential, allowing you to fundamentally challenge the very limits of space, time, and business operations. With IPA, everyone in your company, at every level, becomes more than just a game changer. They become game definers. Yep, even that guy. And getting there is easier than you think, because you can team up with us, a market leader who's been here many times and knows each journey is unique. A partner who won't just show you the path, but will walk alongside you every step of the way. A partner who knows that to become the best version of yourself, all you need is to break from the routine and break through to the future.
So there. Yeah. So let me discuss quickly about our company, Cognizant. So Cognizant is one of the world's leading professional services companies, transforming clients' business, operating, and technology models for the digital era. And we innovate with a purpose. And we also modernize businesses, no, our partner clients. These are the numbers, rankings from the previous years there, if you're familiar with Forbes and the Fortune 500. And these are the values in Cognizant Philippines, our global offices, and our purpose and vision. And we have sites in Taguig and Cebu, but we have satellite sites within NCR and even outside NCR. So there. What opportunities do we have for you? Of course, IT. We have some openings in AI and analytics, software developers, also in quality engineering and assurance, digital engineering, Java development or Java development, a digital experience, which is kind of like front end type of software development, user interface and user experience. Uh, And we also have digital business operations. So we have video sharing accounts, medical equipment accounts, retail accounts, financial technology accounts, cloud computing accounts, insurance account, and even life sciences or healthcare accounts. So we're hiring PHRNs, USRNs, registered pharmacists, and other allied health courses. So work sites, Quezon City, Taguig, Alabang, Bataan, and Cebu. Benefits, you'll know more once you apply. And you can actually see all of our openings in jobs180.com/cognizantph. And there, that would be all. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with University of Pangasinan.
Thank you for that, sir. So, sir, it's time for questions. We have a lot
Sure.
here. Mabilis ang sagot lang, sir. No? From Aldine Rodas, what is more important, attitude or aptitude?
Attitude or aptitude? What is most important? I believe it should be a mixed. It should be a mix of both. But well, in my case, I'm leaning more towards attitude. No, because if you have the attitude to increase your aptitude, then you get to have the best of both worlds, right? Okay.
Thank you for that, sir. We have another one from Jeric Frias, IT programming. Is it possible to have a job in a position where your course taken is not aligned?
Take me for example. I am a registered nurse. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I actually worked as a nurse, but I got this opportunity in recruitment, especially in IT recruitment. So, yes, it's possible if you just work hard and believe that you can do the job.
All right. Last question, sir. Coming from Andre Anthony Aureliano, BS Psychology. If a person is to be denied due to their background or status, what is the percentage chance of that happening in a real world situation?
Real world
Background
situation,
or status?
meaning real world situation meaning if you're doing a face to face interview instead of a virtual interview. Is that the question?
Maybe I think, sir, the applicant is denied due to the background or
Oh,
status.
I
Maybe,
see.
maybe
If
social
us
status,
recruiters, if the
different,
recruiters
yeah.
now are judging applicants based on their background or status, right? Well, it would actually depend. I think all of the companies conduct background check, no, and if there is something fishy in your previous experiences in your previous employments, it might actually affect. Again, it might actually affect your next possible job opportunity. It would vary on the gravity of that background. No,
Sir, can we
so
ano lang, concretize? Like, what backgrounds are we talking about? Like, histories of gaps? Or are we talking about, like, labor cases filed against the person? Is
uh,
this um, what causes the denial or rejection? What
uh,
are common, ano lang po, para lang the
common
applicants know? Common
uh,
causes on why recruiters fail or applicants fail. Why do they fail the background background checking? Like, what are
Us-
major red flags for recruiters?
Usually kasi ang background check, it happens simultaneously or after your offer is rolled out and has been signed. If that's the case, typically the company would hire a third party background check agency, and they would check your previous employers, how you are as an employee, and the usual. Well, I haven't encountered a big uh, reason why the employee has been denied, but I heard some instances where the candidate has been denied because of drug use, the candidate has been denied because of fraud, the candidate has been denied because of previous instance of um, uh, conflicts with the management, repeated conflicts with management, not just in the previous company, but even in the earlier employers, no. So yun yung mga naririnig ko usually na reasons why a candidate could be denied.
So, parang mga misconduct, sir, no?
Misconduct, yes,
Mga
exactly.
fraud, ganyan. Ayan.
Mm,
Okay. Alright. Para lang alam ng ano natin. Huwag muna kayong
yes.
mag-alala dahil sana wala pa naman kayong nagagawang ganun, no?
Mm.
Pero
And
best to
I
avoid.
would like to add, most of the BPO companies are very keen on yung term na AWOL. If you went AWOL
Yeah, yeah.
from one company, and then the new company checks your previous company and they learn that you went AWOL, there is a high chance kasi na you may go AWOL to us as well.
Do it again.
So we would not dare invest in you as early as now if that's your hobby now to go AWOL. Ayun.
Alright. Alright. Thank you for that, sir. So, thank you also for entertaining the questions po. So, to
Surely.
our audience, the link is jobsranking.com/cognizantph. Ayan. To Sir Aaron, thank you again for joining us this afternoon, sir. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you, sir. Next presenter we have here discussing New Age Career Possibilities. We have Sir Axel Pleno, Supervisor for Candidate Engagement Sourcing of Inspiro. Sir Axel is Inspiro Supervisor for Candidate Engagement. He leads the recruitment sourcing for Manila and Munoz QZ site. With his tenure of 3 years in the company, he has relevant experience on customer service and is able to mobilize initiatives in promoting the company's culture of malasakit. He is currently the POC for Inspiro's recruitment partners and recruitment events. Sir Axel? Hi, sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon,
Just your
Shirley.
share screen, sir.
Yeah.
Ayan. So today, sir, our audience are coming from various courses, from various campuses of the Phinma Education Group. So we reach as far as Cebu, and we also have people from Cagayan de Oro watching us,
Oh,
along with the students of UPang. Ayan. So, sir,
okay.
your deck is up. So I'll leave it to you. I'll be back in 20 minutes for Q&A. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Shirley. Ayan, good afternoon to everyone, to our viewers. Again, my name is Axel. I'm part of the sourcing team in Inspiro. So Inspiro is a locally owned BPO company and now under Relaya, which help us to have a global footprint to all over the world. We have sites now in the US, within the Asia, and here in our country, we have multiple sites. We have QC, Makati, Pasig, Mandaluyong. We have two sites in Visayas, that's Iloilo and Dumaguete. So there. So for our topic, we're going to talk about new age career possibilities or tips on exploring other career options. We're going to talk about career options that you can try or pursue in the future and better understanding on what else you can take or step forward on your career. So, top industries. Let's first talk about top industries. COVID-19, the pandemic, which started first quarter of 2020, posed many challenges to the economies worldwide. There are some establishment closed down, companies declared bankruptcy, and the others are entrenching their employees just to keep their business afloat. Let's first understand where we at last year in terms of the key generators of the industry. Yung sino ba yung in demand? So we have call center IT enabled services or BPO. Still the top industry pre and post pandemic, which I think it comes along with the industry's flexibility and adaptability to still operate at 100% despite of the situation. So the BPO companies respond to the situation. They're managed to offer positions who can work from home. They have skeletal, a workforce na may mag-on-site, may work remotely. Next is human resource management or consulting. Not surprisingly, human resource also made to the list because of the digitalization, companies that need to expand and add new roles to stay competitive. Next is education. Education is in demand despite of the limited face-to-face interaction. This is because technology allow such learning classes to be delivered digitally. Next is computer or IT software industry. With business going online, it is no wonder that IT or information technology is one of the most in-demand job. Parang regardless of the industry, regardless of the company, merong IT department talaga. And especially with the pandemic, some of the manpower is working from home. And like myself, if I need assistance on my equipment, so I can work remotely, I need an IT personnel talaga. So yeah. Next, another industry is retail and merchandise. The retail industry in the country is a combination of various products varying from food and beverages, electronics, and appliances. Have been one of the leading product segments in the market, which has been high demand in the country, or ito yung what we call the essentials. If the retail and merchandise company you're going to be part with is part of the essentials nga, you're in a good position. Next is manufacturing and production. Same with retail industry, if the manufacturing company is part of what we considered all as essentials, then the demand is right there. Next is healthcare and medical. So it's a no-brainer. Health sector is most likely to thrive beyond pandemic, and this is a nationwide demand. We have an issue that we're lacking of doctors and nurses. So if your courses is aligned to that, medical sciences, the opportunity is much wider for you. So banking and financial services, the existing providers are expanding their digital offerings in response to increase in awareness or adoption for such services by the customers. So the need of the people on using bank, if it's even hindi yung physical bank, yun, continuous pa rin yung need natin on financial services. Next is why it's time for a career change. So bakit nga ba tayo kailangan shift ng careers? So career change is not for everyone, or for at least for the moment. But at some point, you felt like something that has to change. It can be personal, or it can be the following. First, you need a new challenge. Even if you're content with your job, company, and work colleagues, it's possible that after several years have passed, it has all become too routine. If you're that kind of person that needs to push themselves on trying to new things, a career change might be just a better way. Next is your values have changed, or your interests have changed. A job is like a relationship. Sometimes you just grow in a different direction, while you might once have been passionate about your company's mission and vision. This may be no longer the case. The idea of people can change drastically over the course of their lifetime is not a radical one. The things that you love to do at by the age of 20 may not be the same by the time that you reach the age of 30, something like that. You want to focus on other things. So sometimes our job does not allow enough of us to spend time on other aspect of our lives. So perhaps you wish you had more time to dedicate to your family or to a hobby that you're passionate about. Yeah. Next is your passion lies elsewhere. So there's nothing wrong with chasing a long-term dream or following what you're passionate about. We're often under pressure to make career decision, deem practical or realistic, but ultimately you're the only person or you're the only one determine what job is right for you. The last is you're not happy. So study showed that job satisfaction was the second most important predictor of overall life satisfaction. So there's no big surprise. If you're unhappy, then your job is one of the first places that you should look at. Okay. So let's go over the top alternative careers. I'm going to mention some of the other careers or alternative careers that you may um, consider, but not all. So now if you're come up to a point where you decided to at least thinking about career change, there are some. These are some career path you may look into. So I'm going to share careers that you may consider full time or even part time. So first is human resource or talent acquisition. A lot of company are in need of manpower related to this field. Surprisingly, there are even considering other degree for this position. So yeah, most of the company, for example, yeah, in Inspiro, we're really looking for someone to be part of the recruitment team as well. We're even considering other degree courses as long as they have what it takes. The skill set for the passion for talent acquisition. Next is financial advisor. So because of the pandemic, some are lost income sources, while other are going through financial worry. Those who have managed to hold on to their jobs are anxious about their future. But for this reason, financial advisors are, become in demand. And yan, financial advisors are really rewarding position that you can do both full time and you can do part time as well. Entrepreneur. I know some of my colleagues, yeah, friends of mine who are working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and doing live selling after shift, doing some business as side hustle. Is the one best thing that you can do this pandemic. You can start out small, but and when it's growing, you can do this full time. Digital content creators. Since pandemic, who doesn't know any content creators, diba? This is something that you may look into if you have passion on something that can transpire as a content. It can be blogs, can be makeup tutorials, song covers, and all that. The list goes on. You may consider this as another career of yours. Customer service representative. Most of the BPO companies are offering full-time and part-time posts. So if you also look into um, online teaching as well with the same arrangement as BPO, uh, yeah, you may consider that pwede tayo mag-start as part-time. So, yan. Para malaman nyo lang din yung setup working as a or inside a BPO company. Last is the graphic and web designer. So create high impact visual design solutions for companies if you're someone that can slide a project to your own time, then you should definitely try this one. It's a high reward as well. And then the good thing about it is hawak mo yung time mo while doing this kind of projects. So there, that's about my last slide, guys. Try to visit our Jobs 180 page. All of our posts or our openings are shared through Jobs 180. So I'll expect everyone to at least visit our page. So there. Thank you.
Just came from the bathroom, sir. Sorry.
Thank you, Shirley. I thought
Thank
I
you.
lost connection.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Ayan. So, sir, we're going to get into the questions. We have here from um, Labra George Abraham from Medical Technology, SW Phinma. Any advices or tips that can be given to any aspiring entrepreneurs who would want to make something for themselves?
Advice ko sa kanila is, yun, all of the business, um, no, nag-start ng maliit lang, no? Small. Um, Siguro, the ones that really um, success is the one that, you have better connections talaga. Kasi sila yung magtutulong sa'yo to market your own. Kasi sa kanila ka magsisimula eh. I mean, they're the first one who will, parang tatangkilikin kung what you are offering or what kind of business it is.
Another question here from Matthew Dumayak, SWU. What jobs are popular for IT-related courses?
I'm speaking for our industry, no, sa BPO. Siguro for IT, we're really in need of network engineers talaga. So IT support who can, troubleshoot and make sure that all of the, personnel sa company do have the resources in terms of, internet, yan, yung mga connections, the database, yan. So, yan. Network related field sa IT.
Sir, ano ko lang parang lagyan ko lang ng comparison since you're the last speaker naman for this event. Maybe just like confirm from you that moving forward, we would be like getting like an influx of openings coming from development, technology, IT related courses because these are the industry or these are the disciplines na sobrang kakailanganin like in the next few years, even right now. Like, are we even like malaki po ba yung sobrang laki ba ng openings na hinihingi natin na and do the campuses like fill it in? Like, yung mga graduates po ba natin, nafe-fill naman nila yung openings na yun or kulang pa rin sila, sir? Like, on the industry lang po.
Siguro, the demand is may increase talaga bago mag-pandemic. The demand in the position in IT related is nag-increase just because half of the manpower is working from home, then the other are working on site. So instead of yung ratio ng isang IT personnel na sana nagso-support ng dalawang tao na yon is kaya ng makompensate, dumodoble tuloy. So someone need to support, who is working remotely when someone should stay dun sa on-site to support kung sino naman yung nasa on-site. So in terms of the openings, continuous kasi siya. So I can't say na na-fill in enough no incoming graduates. So the need is still there talaga.
Yan. So at the end, very promising yung yung IT discipline natin. Yan. So thank you, Sir Axel, for accommodating our questions. And thank you for sharing your expertise for today's event. So on behalf of UPang and UPang College of Urdaneta. We thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Happy Friday.
Sherry. Yeah, happy
Happy
Friday, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. So to our audience, here's a reminder: you have two forms to complete for this event. So one is the one on your screen right now. That's for attendance, and the other one is the evaluation form. But before we get to that, we would like to invite Miss Annabella Sambulan, Program Manager for Alumni and Corporate Engagement for Phinma Education, to give us a closing remarks.
To close, I'd like to thank you all for participating in today's webinar. It was put together by your team at Phinma Upang and Puku, who only wish you to be successful. We hope that somehow we were able to help you prepare better for the tasks ahead as you join the workforce. Good luck as you submit your applications. Please submit to as many companies as you want so that you have better chances. Good luck as you prepare for virtual or face-to-face interviews. Please show up on all these interviews and always do your best. And if you face some initial rejections, please do not give up. Keep on showing up until you land that first job. Cheers to your success. May God bless you all.
Thank you for that, Miss Babs. So to our audience, we are now releasing the evaluation form for this event. We'll also put it in the comment section there. So please accomplish within the day. And to everyone who is looking for OJT or for our internal vacancies, it's available at jobs180.com/jobs180. We'd also like to invite you that we will be hosting another round of webinars next week. So if you see any of the topics, you find it interesting, you're welcome to join in any of those sessions. It's for free as well. So if ever, we'll see you and look at me sa aming Facebook page for updates and for future webinars. Yeah. So thank you guys. Have a great afternoon. Happy Friday.
Change. It happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.